Most of you have probably seen or heard of the trucker's hitch. I want to show you guys a different method I've been experimenting with here, utilizing a Prusik, which I think does have some advantages. So as you guys saw in the beginning here, I've utilized this Prusik to tension this Ridgeline with, and I'm going to take this all back apart again, which is one of the first advantages I can show you here, is how it makes it easier to take it down, because you're able to just loosen the tension, and then with everything loose, you can undo everything you had tied. So now let me walk you through setup here. We're going to first anchor one end of our Ridgeline on a tree, either using some kind of anchor hitch, or here I've pre-tied a loop, and I can just stick a toggle through it. And then since we have these Prusiks that we keep on our Ridgeline, we're going to grab that and slide that with us as we walk down to our other tree, where we'll then come around, we'll bring our Ridgeline around, and now we have our Prusik on one side and the other end of our Ridgeline in the other. So now all we have to do is put the end of our Ridgeline through our Prusik and pull to tighten. You pull that plenty tight and then finish it off the same way. Hold it with your finger, and then we'll finish this off with a half hitch tied on a bite, just like that. And I'll actually take it through again to back up the knot. I found that's kind of helpful when doing this with the Prusik. Now we have us a tightened Ridgeline. Hopefully you guys can see everything all right. I've used the red and yellow cordage, not just because it's Marine Corps colors, but also to hopefully help you see a little better. Something I want to show you here is, as Ridgelines are used and they kind of sit in the weather and they get wet and they dry, they tend to expand and loosen up. And with this Prusik, if this Ridgeline does loosen up, you can kind of ratchet it around and pull the slack out of it and tighten it back up. And then again, when you need to take everything down, you can basically instantly loosen it up and undo everything. Some problems I've found when using the trucker's hitch is sometimes if you don't pull enough slack out of the back of your line, you'll run into an issue where you make your knot, you make your loop, and then when you go to tighten everything down, you're too close to the tree and you still have all that slack in your rope. So then you got to take your knot apart again and just redo it. Now, is that a huge deal? No. But in the spirit of just trying to make things as easy and efficient as possible when you're setting up camp, that's why I've kind of liked this method, which I'll show you real time here. You can hold tension on your line here and get it right to where you want it, making sure you're plenty far away from the tree. And then when you tighten everything down, it's right where you want it. You don't have to worry about adjusting. You don't have to worry about any slack not being pulled out of the line. And if it does loosen, like I said, you can kind of ratchet it around and tighten it back up. Now you couple that with a few other Prusiks, now you have yourself a whole Ridgeline system that you can use to set up your shelter. And these make it very easy to connect your tarp to the shelter just by putting a toggle through and pulling it tight. I have this shelter kind of set up here just for demonstration purposes. It's maybe not the most practical setup, but I wanted to show you guys when you have a third Prusik here, you can have this running inside your tent and adjust it where you want. And if you want to hang something like a candle lantern, then you can do that, and then you can move it around right where you want it. Same goes for a flashlight or anything like that. And then again, takedown for this, you can loosen it up, make sure it's nice and easy to untie your knots. And then as you take your line back, slide your Prusiks with you, so they're all collected at the end of your Ridgeline. And as you get down to the end of your Ridgeline, take it loose from the tree, slide everything down towards the eye. And now when you wind up, you'll put this through your hand first and start doing your figure eights. And the reason you put that in your finger first, because when you're finishing off your bundle here and you tie it up, when you take this all loose, you pull all this first and it'll all come out of the bundle nice and neat for you. When you go to set up your Ridgeline the next time, you really look like a pro. You just put the eye around one tree, and then as you walk down to the next tree, you pull your Prusiks with you, leaving a couple behind, and then it's this quick to set up. There you go. So go out and give this a try, guys. It doesn't hurt to try. You know, maybe you'll find you like it. Maybe you end up coming up with your own thing. As long as it gets the job done, you're all good. So guys, thanks for watching. Here's another video I got and another method I have for tying a Ridgeline.